Live from Citizen TV, this is the Monday Report with Trevor Ombija.
Good evening. You're just in time for the Monday Report and our continued series of the Waste Management Town Hall series. We've been to Eldoret, we've been to Mombasa, Nakuru, and now we're in the lakeside city of Kisumu. A rather rainy day here, live from the Rotary Vocational Training Center in Kisumu. We're having a conversation on waste management and the circular economy. What has been achieved, what are the challenges, and what is the vision going forward? To help us with that conversation, we'll be speaking to Honorable Judith Oluoch. She's the CCM, Water, Environment, Natural Resources, and Climate Change, Kisumu County. We'll also be speaking to Leonard Ofula. Leonard Ofula is the NEMA County Director of Environment, Kisumu County. Tobias Bele will be joining us in the panel as a Communication and Knowledge Management Lead at KCIC, that is the Kenya Climate Innovation Center. Alex Kubasu will be here as well, a Program Coordinator, Green Economy and Policy at the WWF Kenya. And Primafasi Mutua, she's a co-founder and COO, M-Taka. But we'd like to hear from you mostly at Trevor Ombija at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Citizen Monday Report. But first, before we get into that discussion on this rainy day in Kisumu City, here are our top stories tonight. A night in police custody. Bomet Governor Hilary Barchok, former Bungoma Governor Wycliffe Wangamati arrested and to be arraigned on Tuesday over graft.
We'll work closely to ensure that all the perpetrators, be they facility owners, or doctors, or patients, face the full force of the law.
Files of fraud. Health CS Aidan Duale submits over 1,000 files on fraudulent SHA claims to the DCI for investigation.
It's not working. And no one can shove it down our throats.
Not on board. Governors reject Treasury's order to transition to the government's electronic procurement system. Contested outcome. Governor Baraza declared winner as Nabweri-led faction rejects results at chaotic ODM elections in Kakamega. Thank you so much for tuning in. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Njoki Shege. Now, Bomet Governor Hilary Barchok and former Bungoma Governor Wycliffe Wangamati and 11 other suspects are spending the night in police custody to be arraigned on Tuesday over corruption allegations. The two leaders who were arrested recorded statements at the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission headquarters before being transferred to the Kilimani police station. Seth Olale followed the unfoldings at the Integrity Center and filed this report.
The 9-hour operation targeting Bomet Governor Hilary Barchok and former Bungoma Governor Wycliffe Wangamati that commenced at Integrity Center culminated at the Kilimani police station. Ex-Bungoma County boss Wangamati was the first to arrive at the EACC headquarters, flanked with 10 directors of various companies, including family members Michael Simiyu Wangamati and Edward Barasa Wangamati, over alleged embezzlement of funds through fraudulent procurement procedures.
Mambo ya siasa ya Bungoma County 2027, yes.
The former Bungoma governor and his 10 co-accused were then taken to Kilimani police station under tight security. Upon arriving at the Kilimani police station, Wangamati was officially booked in before being locked up in the cells.
EACC CEO, please don't allow yourself to be used by politicians to damage the profile of a credible institution.
A few kilometers from Kilimani police station, Bomet Governor Hilary Barchok attempted to secure an anticipatory order at Milimani Law Courts in order to prevent EACC and ODPP from arresting and prosecuting him.
Governor, do you think you are innocent?
When this failed, Barchok presented himself to EACC detectives at Integrity House. Just like his counterpart, the embattled county boss was processed before being transferred to Kilimani police station, where he was booked in. As the suspects spent the night behind bars, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is now considering confiscating assets it describes proceeds of corruption, even as it intensifies its war on graft in the devolved units. Seth Olale, Citizen TV, Kilimani Police Station, Nairobi County.
Now, Health CS Adan Duale has handed over more than 1,000 files to the Director of Criminal Investigations, DCI, that is Mohammed Amin, for investigation into suspected health insurance fraud under SHA. Duale, while announcing the closure of 85 hospitals under investigation, said that the probe will expose fraudulent claims linked to the scheme. Melita Oletenges has the details.
The alleged attempt by healthcare facilities to steal 10.6 billion shillings from the Social Health Authority has caused uproar among Kenyans. The crackdown following the attempted heist has seen 85 hospitals shut down for their suspected involvement.
All the perpetrators, be they facility owners or doctors or patients, face the full force of the law.
Health CS Adan Duale submitted 1,188 files to the DCI and police, saying that 190 were presented by SHA, while 998 came from the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council, KMPDC.
And these facilities are categorized into three. Category 1 are 24 facilities. The cases which are the cases with concluded evidence of fraud. So these 24 facilities, forensic audits have been done, the system evidence is being provided, and it's complete.
Every person, groups of people involved in the fraud against healthcare services are brought to book and they have their day before the courts of law.
This exercise will be taken very, very seriously. We shall investigate the matter very, very promptly and make sure that all the culprits are identified and prosecuted.
The hospitals under probe are accused of inflating charges without offering treatment, submitting fake records, or billing for services not rendered.
We have a comprehensive digital system built on artificial intelligence and a big data fraud engine. Over the last year, since the rollout of Taifa Care, this system has collected a vast amount of data, giving it the power to detect.
DCI has stated that a multi-agency team has been constituted to lead investigations, dig deeper, and expose the full extent of the scandal. Melita Oletenges, Citizen TV.
Let's talk about the EGP now, and it's a deadlock as Council of Governors rejected the directive by Treasury to all government agencies to migrate to the new electronic procurement platform. After a special council meeting, the governors vowed that they will not be intimidated and compelled by anyone to transition to what they termed as a defective system. Stephen Leto has more.
Here is a press statement.
After a 4-hour-long meeting, governors vowed that they will not be onboarded to the electronic procurement platform, claiming that the government was rushing the process without addressing basic technical challenges.
We therefore call on the National Treasury to immediately withdraw the circular directing the counties to implement EGP until proper consultations, legal alignment, and capacity building are undertaken.
The governors argue that the process was rushed and risked affecting service delivery to counties. They claim that only 3 out of 47 counties participated in the piloting of the system and reported massive failures.
If it's not working, it's not working. And no one can shove it down our throats. You must address the issues we're raising. And you must respect that we're 2 levels of government. And we're both a creation of the Constitution of Kenya.
Kama counties sisi hatuna shida na hii procurement, lakini hatutasingiziwa kuitumia kwa sababu haifanyi kazi.
As of Monday, only 4 entities had onboarded the e-procurement, including the National Treasury, EACC, Privatization Commission, and the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority. The Council of Governors also rejected the planned transfer of 7,414 UHC staff to counties and demanded that the national government first releases money to sustain the UHC staff payroll and settle all gratuity owed to the staff.
And all we're asking for is deal with the issue of the gratuity. That's the law. And increase our equitable share by 7.7 billion going forward. That's all. But what they want to do is to send them to us, and after 10 months, probably even incite them to strike in front of our county headquarters. We're not accepting it.
COG further stated that the ministry's directive contradicted the framework that had been negotiated on how to manage the transition of UHC staff from the national to county governments. Stephen Leto, Citizen TV.
And away from that, 3 more houses were torched in Mwisho wa Lami area, the Nakuru-Narok border, as clashes continued for the 2nd day. Tension remains high in the region, with tens of families continuing to flee the area. A leaders' meeting was convened to seek a solution to the skirmishes. Marian Nyambura has more.
These are the remains of household items from 3 houses that were torched on Sunday night in Mwisho wa Lami on the Nakuru-Narok border. Families in tears as they try to salvage the little that is left here.
Walikuja wakachoma nyumba yangu na documents zilikuwa kwa nyumba. Kuna kondoo zilikuwa huko kwa uwanja ambazo ziliibiwa pamoja na mbuzi zilikuwa kwa shamba.
Walikuwa wanasema Kenya tunaulizana ni stima. Sasa Kenya Power walifanya juu chini wakaleta transformer na wakawaekea. Sasa sisi watu ya Mwisho wa Lami Narok tunauliza na sisi tuliulizwa nini?
A meeting was held by leaders from the rival groups. They agreed to end the feud and live peacefully.
Tunaomba amani. Maana amani ni jambo la maana tukidumisha. Kwa hivyo tunaomba mandugu zetu wa upande ile lingine tuwe na amani, na wengine wa upande wetu tuwe na amani. Amani ni kitu ya maana.
Amani idumu hata kwa sababu ya ndugu zetu, tuendelee kama kawaida, tufanye kazi kama kawaida na tuende mbele. So sisi kama Wamasai, sisi hatuna shida yoyote, hatuna masumbuano yoyote, na tunasema wacha amani iwe kila wakati.
No arrests have been made even as residents whose houses were torched recorded statements with detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. The 7-day dusk to dawn curfew continues. Marian Nyambura, Citizen TV.
Talk about crime matters now, and a senior police officer in charge of firearms at the Central Police Station has dismissed claims of a cover-up in the station's firearms registry. Testifying in the ongoing investigation into Rex Masai's death, Frederick Okepasi maintained that inconsistencies in the firearms records were not an attempt to conceal the truth, while acknowledging that the registry shows one officer signed out firearms more than once during the protest period. That did not amount to foul play. Ben Kirui has the details.
Frederick Okapesi, the officer tasked with the responsibility of aiding the sensitive firearms department at Central Police Station, took the witness stand in the ongoing inquest into the death of Rex Kanyike Masai, who was fatally shot by a police officer during June 2024 protests.
What did you advise him to do?
Testifying before the court, Okapesi was hard pressed to explain discrepancies in the station's firearms register, which has come under scrutiny for numerous irregularities.
Are you the one who made the alterations?
I'm the one who made that alteration that very morning.
That very morning?
That number 3.
That number 3?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, are you the one who wrote
other than the signature. That's my handwriting, Your Honor.
Okapesi admitted that the arms movement register, which is manually maintained, is prone to human error, explaining that when such mistakes occur in good faith, officers are allowed to make corrections using methods such as striking through entries or erasing them with ink.
Your Honor, let us be logical. Yes, these are manually generated documents by my own handwriting.
Very well.
Which are subject to mistakes. I remember the time President Uhuru Kenyatta, when he was the Minister of Finance, there was computer error.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. True.
Earlier in July, the two officers involved in the arms movement registry signatures, Martin Githinji and Simon Waweru, while giving their testimony, denied any responsibility and pointed fingers at Okapesi, their superior, for the inconsistencies in the records.
On whom will liability rest? Is it on Simon Waweru, or is it on the person who signed against the fire?
The responsibility will rest on the person whom the in-charge armory had issued this fire.
And how does one determine that?
The in-charge armory will explain.
When I asked him, he said that when he saw that Corporal Githinji had signed, he did not sign. He did not sign. But he was supposed to have signed.
He was supposed to have signed. So was that procedural?
Okay, to me, let me say it was an oversight.
When pressed to identify the officer alleged to have shot Rex Masai Isaiah Murangiri, Okapesi appeared visibly unsettled. He remained silent, simply staring at an image believed to be of Murangiri's when it was displayed on a screen in court.
This is either Benson Kamau or Corporal Isaiah Murangiri. That's all. Yes. Very well.
The inquiry is set to resume on the 15th of this month, with 6 additional witnesses expected to take the stand.
I believe there is somebody who's...
Discrepancies in the arms movement register was again a point of focus in the ongoing inquest into the death of Rex Kanyike Masai, with prosecutors alleging a coordinated cover-up by police officers at the Central Police Station. Ben Kirui, Citizen TV, Milimani Law Courts, Nairobi.
Now, conflicting statements from 2 witnesses in the case of missing fisherman Brian Odhiambo dominated Monday's resumption of the hearing at the Nakuru Law Courts. The witnesses, however, told the court that they saw Kenya wildlife officers arrest, manhandle and torture the 31-year-old who has been missing since January 18th. As Kamau Mwangi now reports, the court has summoned 2 senior officers at the Lake Nakuru National Park.
With 2 more witnesses to go before the Nakuru court concludes hearing the case on the disappearance of Brian Odhiambo, 2 convicts arrested alongside the missing fisherman took to the stands on Monday to shed light on events of January 18 when Odhiambo was last seen.
To be looking forward to.
Addressing the court from prison where they are serving sentences for illegal fishing, the protected witnesses differed on whether the 6 accused Kenya wildlife officers before court were indeed the ones that are responsible for the fisherman's disappearance.
Je, ulimtambua hiyo siku ya tukio yeye?
Upande wa tukio sikuweza kumtambua.
Asante. Simama. Unamjua huyu?
Lasha.
Umjui, asante. Je, huyu?
Lasha. Wengine walikuwa ndani ya hizi ma-apron, hizi apron zinafanana na hii nguo ya LOS, hii inakaa greenish, hizi na makofia juu yake. Na wengine walikuwa wamejifunga hizi mask zao hizo za kichaka.
The witnesses also recounted the state in which they saw Odhiambo as they were being loaded into waiting police vehicles following the arrest, with one testifying that Odhiambo had been through torture and could not move as he was unconscious.
Ndio wajua amekata, alikuwa anamwambia songe. Ndio sisi tuingishwe kwa hiyo gari tuende police station.
Aha, alipoambiwa asonge
akakuwa mki.
Aha.
Sasa ndio wakaambiana na sasa hiyo mtu amekata. Ndio huyu akamwambia Shinyamanza toka.
The principal magistrate Kipkirui Kibellion's courtroom also heard of the atrocities meted on those arrested within the Lake Nakuru National Park on the same day as Brian. The hearing resumes on Monday next week, when the investigating officer and one more witness are expected to testify.
Hapo vile nilishika kupata kuna rafiki yangu hapo alipigwa kichwa na rungi. Kuna mwenye alikuwa amepasuliwa mapua, huyo yeye hakurudi.
The two will appear alongside Nakuru County's Assistant Director of KWS as well as the Lake Nakuru National Parks Warden after they failed to supply the investigating officer with crucial documents. Kamau Mwangi, Citizen TV.
Now, police in Narok have launched investigations into the brutal murder of a Class 4 pupil at the Seventh-day Adventist Primary School. The 10-year-old boy, whose body was dumped in a toilet, was found with his throat slit. Angry parents attempted to burn down the school as detectives arrested a security guard to help with the investigations. Crispin Otieno has the details.
A cloud of sorrow has engulfed Seventh-day Adventist Primary and Junior Secondary School in Narok following the brutal murder of a 10-year-old grade 4 pupil who was found with his throat slit using a sharp object by unknown assailants before his body was dumped inside the boys' toilet on Sunday morning with bloodstains all over the floor.
Tuuma ni mtoto kuuliwa, innocent, mtoto wa standard 4 ajui chochote. Tunataka haki itendeke na tumekasirika kama wananchi. Mtoto alikuwa darasa lakini ni kama alikatwa shingo, saa tujui mwenye alimkata. Tunataka haki itendeke.
Leo asubuhi napata mtoto kuuliwa gani ya choo. Na chino kaa kuku. Nikuuliza dana usiku kuamkia leo. Kukuulize hii shule ni ya bodi mani ya tondo. Dom ni nakaaje.
Detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations arrested the school security guard after he was found with blood-soaked clothes. He is being held to assist police with investigations. Following the incident, the Narok County Education Department immediately ordered the closure of the school and directed all parents to withdraw their children.
Na tumeshangaa usiku mzima kuna kitu tumesikia wala ndulu ama nini. Tumepatwa na hofu, tumepigwa na butua ya kwamba mtoto anaweza chinjwa kama mnyama. Tuko na hofu kama wazazi.
So tunataka kabla hii shule iweze kufunguliwa, baada ya kufungwa tuweze kuona hii shule imeweza kurekebishwa. Tumewekewa lights, security lights ambazo tunaambiwa kwa sasa hivi hazifanyi kazi. Tumeweza kuamuru kwamba hakuna boarding school hapa na wazazi watatuia radhi ili waweze kupatia serikali na polisi nafasi.
Tension remained high as angry parents attempted to torch the school, but the fire was quickly put out. Crispin Otieno, Citizen TV.
And on that sad state of affairs, the Monday Report is taking a quick break here live from the lakeside city of Kisumu. We're at the Rotary Vocational Training Center and we're continuing with our Waste Management Town Hall series. We've been to Naivasha, we've been to Nakuru, we've been to Eldoret, we've also been to Mombasa. Now we're in Kisumu. We're talking about the waste management and the circular economy. How do you make cash from trash? It's a rather rainy night right here in Kisumu, but these are the people we'll be speaking to later on. Honorable Judith Oluoch is the CCM, Water, Environment, Natural Resources and Climate Change, Kisumu County. Leonard Ofula is the NEMA County Director of Environment at Kisumu County. Tobias Bele is the Communications and Knowledge Management Lead at KCIC. Alex Kubasu is a Program Coordinator, Green Economy and Policy at the WWF Kenya. And Prima Faci Mutua, she's a co-founder and COO, M-Taka. We're talking about how to convert trash to cash. Keep your views coming at Trevor Mbidi at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Citizen Monday Report. We'll see you in just a bit.
Plotting the exit plan. 62 out of 85 elected MCAs sign up for impeachment motion against Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja.
Welcome back to the Monday Report. We're continuing with our Waste Management Town Hall series live from the lakeside city of Kisumu. Rather rainy night here tonight. But just a day after Citizen TV aired a story on the plight of the two protest victims who suffered gunshot wounds, Kenyatta National Hospital has stepped in to offer free treatment to Samuel Omondi and Clinton Dare. The two, who risked amputation and other complications for lack of follow-up treatment, got medical checkup at KNH, where they were given drugs to last them before their next appointment. KNH also confirmed that all the bullets recovered from the victims have been preserved along with detailed medical records and was ready to hand over to the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, that is IPOA, should they need them for investigations.
It was unfortunate that they came over, for follow-up, or probably delayed on the follow-up, or probably didn't have the resources, to be assisted. And therefore, we as KNH, we are ready to support them. We are ready to help them. In fact, we are ready to ensure that we have this follow-up done so that they can get, all the treatment that they require until these wounds, are healed, without any cost.
Let's talk about politics now. And chaos characterized the ODM party's Kakamega County grassroots election on Monday, resulting with contested outcome. Despite the declaration of Governor Fernandez Baraza as the county chairperson, another faction declared itself the victor in an exercise that was dotted by violence and political rivalry. Ayub Abdikadir has the details.
From the outset, it had all the hallmarks of an uncertain process. A section of ODM supporters at Iguhu KMTC in Kakamega County, demanding for the exit of Simbauni Ndombi, the returning officer who called off the election last week. Only the intervention of police offered him a safe passage before he was escorted to safety. And an exercise meant to yield the party's county leadership ended up with factional standoff. One team led by Lugari MP Nabina Buera and comprising of the county woman MP and other lawmakers staging a walkout out of the meeting hall, following a failure to agree on the modalities of the election, including the voting method. The new returning officer Felix Ngala from Orange House in Nairobi, together with Violet Ananda, declared Fernandez Baraza the winner after the Nabuera-led faction boycotted the exercise, demanding for secret voting method.
So, I'm called the chair of the house now. Duly elected, Chairman Honorable Fernandez Baraza.
The charged environment leading to the deployment of more security personnel. The section of lawmakers disgruntled by the outcome convened a press conference, declaring themselves legitimate representatives of the party in the county.
Tutaanza kutembelea delegates katika branches zao. Juma lijalo, mnanisikia vizuri? Mkutano wetu wa kwanza wa kukutana na delegates utakuwa Khwisero.
Kwanza mimi nataka kumshukuru nyinyi delegates. Kwa maana mmetupenda na mmechagua Nabii na Buera.
And for the second time in a fortnight, ODM's Kakamega County grassroots election, besides being beset by violence, ended up with no conclusive outcome. The mixed outcome set to test the Orange Party and its organization of grassroots leadership. Ayub Abdikadir, Citizen TV.
Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja is facing possible impeachment after 62 out of 85 elected members of the Nairobi County signed up to support an ouster motion. The ward representatives convened at the Nairobi County Assembly buildings on Monday, where they continue to rally support from members. Sakaja is facing allegations ranging from mismanagement of county funds to leadership failures. Lillian Muli has the details.
62 out of 85 MCAs have thrown their weight behind the impeachment motion against Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja as momentum for his ouster intensifies. MCAs led by Kileleshwa MCA Robert Alai stated that the grounds for removal were overwhelming and that members were united in advancing the impeachment process.
So we have the motion ready. We have the charges ready, more than 20 charges, 20 substantive charges against the governor. We have enough signatures. We passed the threshold in the 5th minute of collection of signatures. We already had the minimum required 42. We want to ensure that we are not going to take the motion with 42. We are going to take the motion with 100 signatures.
At the heart of the impeachment storm are allegations that Governor Sakaja has failed Nairobi residents on multiple fronts.
I think it's only fair that we demand that garbage are all collected, that all the Nairobi infrastructure is taken care of, is rectified, and is clearly, we bring back the blame where it's supposed to be, which is with the governor of Nairobi, Arthur Johnson Sakaja.
The assembly, currently with 123 members following the recent death of Kariobangi North MCA Joel Monuve, requires at least 82 signatures to table an official motion of impeachment. The law stipulates that at least 1/3 of all members must back the notice before it can proceed. The move comes just days after Kericho Governor Eric Mutai narrowly survived impeachment in the Senate. Lillian Muli, Citizen TV.
Now, beyond the borders, more than 800 people have been killed and nearly 3,000 injured after a 6.0 magnitude earthquake struck eastern Afghanistan just before midnight on Sunday. Afghan officials and the UN humanitarian agency said most of the deaths occurred in Kunar province and warning that the death toll may rise significantly as entire villages have been destroyed. The epicenter was in a remote mountainous area, making it difficult for rescue operations to be carried out. The disaster now comes as Afghanistan reels from a severe drought, aid cuts, and what the World Food Programme describes as an unprecedented hunger crisis. The region has also seen massive flooding and landslides in the past few days, blocking access to the areas.
Coming up in business, Treasury's tough deadline. KRA handed a one-year ultimatum to expand Kenya's tax net and grow revenue.
Welcome back, and business news starts now. So the Kenya Revenue Authority is betting big on technology, setting aside billions to simplify tax processes and rope in hard-to-tax sectors. Commissioner General Humphrey Watanga says that the push will zero in on MSMEs while also streamlining KRA's internal operations through restructuring, new hires and staff training. Jimmy Mbogo has the details.
The celebration of the Kenya Revenue Authority 30th anniversary provided the taxman with an opportunity to reflect on the integral role the institution plays in providing resources for the country, with the taxman now expected to undertake a robust recruitment aimed at onboarding more Kenyans into the tax bracket. According to the Cabinet Secretary for the National Treasury, John Mbadi, though there have been significant strides made since the inception of the Revenue Authority, the revenue to GDP ratio remains below expectation at only 16.8%, noting that this falls short in comparison to other countries with similar economic profiles, even as he committed to take action to curb runaway expenditure.
That we have talked far too long about broadening this tax base. Mpaka, it has become a song. If we cannot broaden this tax base between now and June next year, then we better just put it aside and live the way we are living.
Expanding the tax base through voluntary compliance remains primary and critical. As such, we will continue with our collaboration and our co-creation to enhance service delivery, strengthen our partnerships with all stakeholders, and thereby create a taxation system that supports economic growth, innovation and job creation.
The Kenya Revenue Authority has been lauded for its continuous investment in technology, with the Commissioner General now hinting at the incorporation of artificial intelligence, noting that through digitization, the authority has been able to raise more resources, crossing the 1 trillion mark in 2014 and the 2 trillion mark in the financial year 2021 to 2022.
New business models, cross-border transactions and rapid digital innovations demand an agile, modern and collaborative approach to tax governance. This means moving beyond simply collecting taxes to integrating compliance into the systems that taxpayers already use.
Kenyans are moving more than 40 trillion shillings per year on mobile. That's 3 times GDP. So, Kenyans are not informal in the way they transact. They are using technology, and it is fairly sophisticated.
The government has reiterated its commitment to supporting KRA's role in national development, with CS Mbadi noting that Treasury will soon allocate additional funds to enable the taxman to enhance revenue collection efforts, with the support expected to be vital in KRA's effort to drive Kenya's economic growth. Jimmy Mbogo, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Now, the Institute of Internal Auditors, Kenya, has kicked off the process of enacting the country's first internal audit bill. The proposed law is expected to strengthen governance, accountability and risk management across public and private institutions. Approved by the global governing body IAA Global, the initiative also positions Kenya as a continental case study under the African Federation of Institutes of Internal Auditors Model Law campaign. Now, if the campaign is passed, the internal audit bill will provide Kenya with a landmark legal framework that anchors the profession in law and aligns it with global best practice.
When that happens, we will have a solid internal audit profession. The internal auditors will be safeguarded from stigmatization or from victimization. When we have the internal audit bill enacted and we have that law working for us, will be a profession that can even do more in terms of exercising our independence when we know that we have an act that we can fall back on.
Internal audit is also automated. There are new technologies that have come in the market, and therefore we need to embrace those technologies, ensuring that we practice our audit through audit management systems, we practice our audit through application of data analytics.
Now, the government has initiated plans to regulate miraa trade through cooperative societies. According to Cooperatives Principal Secretary Patrick Kilemi, speaking in Mombasa, Kilemi says that the ministry has engaged stakeholders and traders in the miraa sector to address rising cases of theft and to track vehicles transporting the crop nationwide. He's now calling on industry players to streamline the market by operating under cooperative structures. Leaders from Meru have also called on the government to extend support to miraa farmers across the entire country.
Mzee ambaye ametushikilia siku mingi
na Kilemi, si tuko hapa tukutuma kwamba nenda tuangalie hiyo line ile ya miraa iende straight, ya kwamba sababu kwa cooperative mayanchai imechafuliwa. Mayanchai kutoka Meru, katikati ya Meru na Mombasa, lori imepotea, hakuna mtu wa kuongea. Lakini mporo mtarudi akiongea anasema kwamba mimi napigana na wewe. Hapana.
Nataka tupangane na hao watu to form, we control the supply side of miraa through cooperatives. Ndio tu tunajua kama miraa ni mingi tunapunguza product, so that because we have no control of demand. Hatuna control ya wale wananunua, lakini tuko na control ya supply. Sasa tunataka kuonyesha, kwa sababu mimi nilikuwa kwa mafuta najua vile inapangwa, nataka kuwapanga through cooperatives to control supply.
Time now for some sporting action in the national football team. The Harambee Stars are back in training to prepare for the 2 World Cup qualifiers to be played on Friday and Tuesday at the Kasarani Stadium. Harambee Stars will play the Gambia on Friday evening and take on Seychelles 4 days later at the same venue. With the Friday game already sold out, Coach Benny McCarthy has called on the fans to create the same electric atmosphere that carried the team throughout their matches in the African Nations Championships, that is CHAN. Kenya has a slim chance of advancing to the qualifiers, but it all depends on the other results going their way and the team winning their remaining matches. Coach McCarthy gave an elaborate plan of the players that they want to bring into the team from the foreign leagues.
Up. Up.
So that's amazing because it makes our team selection only stronger, and you have top quality players playing in major leagues that's willing to come and play for the national team. So yeah, so looking forward to that. So we've done our homework on the players that we wanted.
Kenyan amateur golfer John Lejirma wants to leave a mark at the Sports Biz Africa Golf Championship, the 5th leg of the Sunshine Development Tour at the Kigali Golf Resort and Villas over the weekend. Lejirma has been one of the standout amateurs across the swing and believes his preparation and growing experience from the earlier tournaments will give him a strong platform to compete against an elite field of professionals from across Africa. He finished second at the Ruiru leg, where he took veteran Dismas Indies to a dramatic playoff. The 2025 Sunshine Development Tour East Africa Swing has provided a rare platform for amateurs like Lejirma, as the events carry Sunshine Development Tour Order of Merit points, official World Golf Ranking points, and the World Amateur Golf Ranking points. Kenyan triplets with autism are preparing to make history as they gear up for an international cycling championship in France. 13-year-old Eric Murimi, Lenny Murea, and Ricky Kairichi will participate in the Vitus Time Trials in Roybon, that's in France, on September 20th, 2025. The race is sanctioned by the World Vita Sports Federation, the global body that organizes competitions for athletes with intellectual and developmental challenges. The brothers began cycling at the age of 5 and have since developed into competitive riders. They are now currently in the full residential training in Nanyuki, that's in Laikipia County, under the guidance of coach Nesmas Mbati and Bernard Kabiru Kahindo, a former national team cyclist and coach. Despite difficulties in coordination, concentration, and adapting to structured routines, they gradually mastered balance, endurance, and teamwork on the bike. What started as therapy and recreation turned into competitive riding as they pushed past the limitations often associated with autism to build discipline and confidence on the road.
First message is you train, you learn those skills. The skills which you learn: brakes, being on your line, and changing gear.
It is a space that they enjoy, and it's not a place where they are being forced to do things. So compliance, I found, is very good. So I decided to nurture sports as a career, and that is how we are here.
Now, Kenya's running CEO Joe Sang has now set the sights on clocking a sub-3-hour marathon at next month's Berlin Marathon, where he will run for the Joe Sang Foundation that seeks to raise money for the education of needy children countrywide. The Kenya Pipeline Company Managing Director was joined by Cabinet Secretaries John Badi and Migoso Gamba, alongside Petroleum Principal Secretary Mohamed Liban, in launching the Joe Sang Foundation that aims to raise 200 million shillings to educate needy children. Sang will use the September 21st Berlin Marathon as the focal point of this year's fundraising campaign. The foundation has already raised 26 million shillings.
Happening on the 21st of September.
Toyota's Sebastian Ogier won the inaugural Rally of Paraguay on Sunday to boost his chances of a record-equaling 9th World Championship crown. Now, the 41-year-old Frenchman, who started the season intending to mount only a part-time campaign, is 9 points behind Welsh teammate Elfyn Evans, who finished runner-up 26.2 seconds behind. Evans still extended his lead from 3 points after his previous closest challenger, double world champion teammate Kael Rovanpera, who would finish only 6th after a puncture on Saturday. Now, the Finn and Ogier, who has compatriot Sebastian Loeb's record 9 titles as a target, are now level of 189 points. Hyundai's reigning champion Thierry Neuville took the final podium position in 3rd place. All right, the Monday Report is taking another quick break. When we come back, we are continuing with our waste management town hall series. We are in the live city of Kisumu. There's a lot of rain happening, and we're live at the Rotary Vocational Training Center. We'll be speaking about waste management and the circular economy, the Kisumu edition. We've already spoken about Eldoret, Nakuru, Mombasa, and now we are in Kisumu. My guests are already here with me. Honorable Judith Oluwach is the CCM, Water, Environment, Natural Resources, and Climate Change, Kisumu County. Leonard Ofula is the NEMA County Director of Environment, Kisumu Kisumu County. Tobias Bele is the Communication and Knowledge Management Lead at KCIC. Alex Kubasu is the Program Coordinator, Green Economy and Policy, WWF Kenya. And Prima Fasi Mutua, she's the co-founder and COO, M-Taka. We're talking about turning trash to cash. We'd like to hear from you at Trevor Mbija at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Citizen Mondays Report. When we come back on this rainy night in Kisumu, I'll be on the other side in the town hall session, all right? So don't go too far.